The picture you just saw is not of elephants. In fact, they are pigs, born with trunks that look almost exactly like those of elephants. Few notice the striking similarities: their skin, their build, even the tusks of wild boars that look like the ivory of elephants. But there is something even stranger. This creature feeds on waste, survives on what others discard. And this mystery ties directly into one of the greatest stories ever told: the story of the Great Flood. A flood that covered the entire earth in the days of Prophet Noah. A flood that swept away everything, except those chosen to enter a massive ark, a vessel unlike any ever built before, designed with a strange and precise engineering that could hold not only people, but every kind of animal on earth. And did you know, the very first fever ever to strike the world came down upon a lion? These are the mysteries we'll uncover today in the story of Prophet Noah. Subscribe now so you never miss the legends and truths that changed history forever. Now, step with me into this legend.
After many years of trying, Prophet Noah called his people again and again to return to God and leave their idols. But they refused. Then God revealed to Noah, "No one will believe from your people except those who have already believed." So Noah raised his hands and prayed, "My Lord, I am defeated, so help." Noah then left his people. He disappeared, not for a year or two, but for many long years, until the day when people began to notice Noah working on something huge, a massive structure made of wood. They came to him and said, "Noah, what are you building? You used to call us to worship one God, and now you are building this giant thing?" They soon realized it was a ship. But not just any ship. It was an ark, designed to float on water. They mocked him and said,
"Where is the water, Noah? You are building a ship on dry land."
He is crazy.
Prophet Noah replied, "If you ridicule us, then we will ridicule you just as you did." Some scholars say that when Noah disappeared, he didn't start building the ark right away. First, God told him to plant a special type of tree. Noah waited nearly 100 years for those trees to grow, and when the wood was finally ready, he began to build the ark. But this ark was no ordinary ship. It was massive, so huge that many scholars say its height was about 300 cubits, nearly 242 meters, like a 50-story building. Can you imagine such a sight? It had 3 great levels, the lowest for animals and wild beasts, the middle for people, and the top for the birds. Its door was on the side, and it even had a roof to protect it from the heavy rain. From the outside, it looked like a giant ship, but covered above like a submarine, something truly strange for that time. After many long years of hard work, Noah finally finished building the ark. Then God revealed to him, "And when our command comes and the oven overflows, put into the ship from each creature 2 mates and your family, except those for whom the decree of destruction has proceeded. And do not address me concerning those who have wronged. Indeed, they are to be drowned." And God gave Noah a clear sign: when you see water burst out even from the oven, the tanur, the very place of fire, then know the time has come. Fire and water are opposites, yet water would even spring from fire. That would be the sign to act immediately. And then it happened. The earth began to gush with water from every place, even from fire pits. When Noah saw the sign, he knew the time had come. He entered the ark, taking pairs of animals with him. Ibn Abbas, the great scholar, said the first bird to enter the ark was the dove, and the last animal was the donkey. And he even said that Iblis, Satan himself, clung to the donkey's tail and entered the ark as well.
When Noah had finished bringing all the animals into the great ark, the signs of punishment began to appear. The sky turned strange and terrifying. The first drops of rain fell. Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, boarded the ark with him. But one son was still outside. His name is Yum. Soon the water began to spread everywhere. Then the signs grew stronger. The skies opened, and the doors of heaven poured down with powerful rain. God says in the Qur'an, "Then we opened the gates of the heaven with rain pouring down. At the same time, the earth itself burst open, and water gushed from every spring, from every corner of the land." God says, "And we caused the earth to burst with springs, so the waters met for a matter already predestined. The waves grew taller, huge like mountains." Imagine the scene. Waves rising like mighty peaks, the ark tossing upon them. And in the middle of all this, Noah cried out for his son. He searched for him, calling, desperate. Suddenly, Noah saw him, standing apart on high ground, away from the ark. With a father's fear in his voice, Noah shouted, "My son, come aboard with us and do not be with the disbelievers." But the boy answered with false confidence,
"I will take refuge on a mountain to protect me from the water."
Noah, his heart breaking, shouted back, "Today there is no protection from God's decree, except for whom he gives mercy." And before Noah could reach him, a towering wave came between them, swallowing his son from sight. Noah was left in shock. His son was gone. The water kept rising higher and higher, covering the valleys, climbing the mountains, until the entire world became one endless ocean. Broken-hearted, Noah raised his hands and prayed, "My Lord, indeed my son is of my family, and indeed your promise is true, and you are the most just of judges." But the answer from God came, shaking and terrifying. "O Noah, he is not of your family. His conduct was unrighteous. Do not ask me about what you have no knowledge of. I advise you, so you will not be among the ignorant." These words pierced Noah's heart. Immediately he replied, "My Lord, I seek refuge in you from asking what I do not know, and unless you forgive me and have mercy upon me, I will be among the losers." It was his son, yet God reminded him, faith is stronger than blood, and only the righteous are truly saved. Then came the moment when the earth was completely covered. The whole world had become one endless ocean, and there floated the Ark of Noah. Days passed, but the rain did not stop. The skies kept pouring down, and the earth kept releasing its water. It is said that the flood lasted for 40 days, and during those 40 days, many strange things happened inside the ark. The people and animals lived together in that great ship. But with so many creatures locked inside, one big problem appeared: the waste of the animals, and the smell became unbearable. It is said in the traditions of the people of the book that God guided Noah to touch the elephant's tail, and from the elephant came forth 2 new creatures, pigs, and immediately the pigs began to eat the waste of the other animals, cleaning the ark. If you look carefully, you can see the similarities between pigs and elephants: the skin, the body shape, even the way their faces are formed. Some types of pigs even grow tusks, just like elephants. And so from that moment, the ark became livable again. But that was not the only problem inside the ark. There were 2 more, the lion and the mouse. The companions of Noah feared that the lion would attack the other animals. But then something happened. A fever struck the lion, the very first fever on earth. The mighty beast grew weak, tired, and could no longer hunt or harm the others. Then came the second problem. The people complained about the mouse, which they called the little corrupter. It was spoiling their food, chewing through supplies, ruining their stores. So Noah prayed again, and God answered. It is said that from the lion came forth a new creature, the cat. And when the cat appeared, the mice hid and fled, leaving the food safe. Whether these stories are taken from older traditions or truly happened inside the ark, only God knows. But they carry wisdom. Every problem that appeared, God gave a solution, even inside the ark of salvation.
The flood continued 40 days, or even longer,
And during that time, every disbeliever on earth was drowned. Not a single one remained. At that moment, there was no one left except those who worshipped God. Then came the great command. God said, "O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold your rain." And the waters began to sink, little by little. The flood was over. The punishment had come to an end, and the disbelievers were gone. Finally, the ark came to rest. It settled on a mountain called Al-Judi. As for the location of this mountain, there are many different opinions about it. I will mention them shortly. Then, the Qur'an tells us, "And it was said, away with the wrongdoing people." When the earth dried completely, God spoke to Noah. "O Noah, disembark with peace from us, and blessings upon you, and upon the nations that will come from those with you." So Noah and the believers left the ark, overjoyed. They had survived the greatest disaster the world had ever seen. God had chosen them, saved them, and given them a new beginning. The Quran says, "And we made his descendants those remaining on the earth." From Noah's children came all of humanity that exists today. This is why Noah is called the second father of mankind, and his time is known as the second beginning of humanity. As for Mount Al-Judi, its exact location is known only to God. Some say it is in modern-day Turkey, and even point to a mountain where the outline of a giant ship can still be seen, like a massive imprint in the earth. Others believe it was in Arabia. The truth rests with God alone. But what matters most is this. The story of Noah is not just about a flood. It is about faith, patience, and trust in God when the world turns against you. And with that, we reach the end of today's story. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the Great Flood and the Ark of Noah. If you want more hidden legends like this, subscribe now, so you never miss the stories that shaped our world. Until next time, may God bless you with wisdom and light.